1252 Sports Entertainment presents the one, the only, the One-Timer Hockey Show. Live with Andrew Faubert and Matt Bannon. So get your puck bunnies and give your balls a tug, because it's time to do that hockey. Let's do that hockey, baby.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the One-Timer Hockey Show, live here in Lockport, Illinois, Whistle Sports Bar and Grill 159 studio. It's me, Matt Bannon, and Andrew Faubert. Andrew, how are you doing tonight?
How are you doing tonight?
Definitely better than you're feeling, even though it was kind of a long weekend, but I feel like it was a longer one for you, especially yesterday night, if I'm not mistaken there.
Yeah.
And the insight as to what happened, and enlighten everybody. How was your Monday?
Well, I mean, first things first. Welcome everybody, 1252. Everybody who's watching across every social media platform and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just start off with saying both of us seem to have a problem with Buffalo. Okay.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Everybody seems to be having a problem with Buffalo. My problem with Buffalo is they scored 4 on you, and then they doubled that on me.
Yep. Just a prelude, really.
I'm not gonna lie, kind of getting sick and tired of having these high-scoring games happen to us. It is not fun. Also, Ray Leo says, "Hi guys, newcomer here. Good to see you.
Hello,
Thank
welcome.
you for tuning in. Welcome in. Drop your team. Is that Chicago? No, that's Devils. I see there.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, we got a Devil fan in here. I also like that. Listen, I don't care what anyone says. The Devil jerseys, when they add that little green stripe in there, some people are like, "Why? What? The Devil doesn't have any type of green." And I'm like, the Devil only has green.
It's only green.
It's only green. But that, see, and he even says here, "Let's go Devils."
The Devils, right there it is.
Love that jersey when it's got that green stripe on there. But the green stripe here was really the stripe that was in the Red Wings' eyes that we actually thought we could compete with the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I don't understand how Nedeljkovic, of all people, he let in all 8.
Yeah.
Like
it was almost like he wasn't even there, really. Just kind of sat watching like we did for the most part. It seems that way.
We like Patrick Wadham. We're like, nope, you stay. Get back out there.
Yep. No, definitely not. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, they had like 45 shots on us on Saturday, and we had like maybe 20 or something like that, 24 or 5.
Did they
actually?
So
they had a ton. I'm trying to pull it up here. Oh, yeah, here we go. They had 45 shots to our 26 with only 1 in the overtime. Yeah, so hey, at least we made it to OT. So I'll take the point there.
Listen, let's take a quick moment here to appreciate what Buffalo is actually doing here. We talked on the last show that they swept through Alberta.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. We did bring that up. Which is funny because on the first show we were talking not really highly of Buffalo either, as I recall.
We were not.
Oh, they're just doing what they normally do. And then last week they're like, oh, maybe they're onto something. This week, I don't like it anymore. It was fun back then, but not anymore.
They have so much young talent on that team.
They do.
Honestly, it's just like Colorado. And I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to become anywhere near Colorado.
Not quite yet.
Maybe Owen Powers might be something, but he's not going to be Cale Makar. He's not going to.
Well, not for the foreseeable future, unless something drastic happens, which I don't see happening. They're just starting to find their stride. It took them a few years, but they're starting to get it, and I don't like the result. Having faced it.
Well, speaking of result, first of all,
Yes.
the Nedeljkovic result just in Detroit is not going as planned here, Ray. Got us one and looked like prime Marty. I mean, it's fair.
Okay.
I'll give you that. He's hit and miss. He's so hit and miss.
Yeah.
But I do see this here. Cindy Bannon, thank you for tuning in. Says, what happened with your bet? Shouldn't Andrew be wearing a Hawks jersey? Well, first of all, let me just say this. I definitely lost that bet.
You did. I was there to witness it. It was wonderful.
Yes, literally, you don't have to watch any more games for the rest of your life. And you'd be like, the last one that I went and saw is the only one that mattered.
Only one that mattered.
Yep. We made a Christmas sweater from Wish was the agreement. So I figured it would only be in good fairness to bring it out around like the actual Christmas time. So I'm going to go and find the best one that I possibly can. And we are definitely going to go have a lot of fun with it. But thank you for remembering.
Yes, always keep that in the back of your mind, though. It's a Christmas gift for me and really for all of us, as it turns out.
Listen, there's only a few things in my life that I would absolutely not want to be wearing.
Is that one of them?
And a Blackhawks jersey is like maybe top 10. But it'd be like back of the top 10.
Yeah, it's in there, but it's not like the worst possible thing.
Like it's not a Saints jersey and it's not a Bruins jersey. Those are the two. You would have to bet something that would be the tattoo bet almost. Like that would be.
You'd have to be really sure of yourself to even put that as a wager up there. Yeah, I know what you're feeling. It's the same, obviously, Blues, but I agree with the Bruins one. Couldn't do it.
I could
not do that.
Is that the only? Okay, hold on. Out of all the, let's just say hockey. Out of all the hockey jerseys that exist, is that the one that you wouldn't wear, or would you wear a St. Louis Blues or a Boston Bruins?
I would take the Bruins over the Blues, but I think they're pretty much like That's like 1 and 2 right there. Yeah,
hate the Blues.
I do not, which is weird. I always have a great time. Fun, but there's no way in hell I'm going to wear Blues anything. Definitely not. No way. Sense. No shot.
It makes sense because I have for football, I have a co-host, which I just got off of doing the NFC South show on Let's Talk Football, which if anybody wants to talk football, 1252 talks all Chicago. And we actually, some of the content that we have there. Let's Talk Football has a couple of Chicago people. I've told them about your Chicago content, and they've actually started to watch and be like, "Oh, I like this." So
there's something good here. I think so, at least. Yeah, I'm feeling it.
But we did an NFC South show that I was just on and stuff like that. So quick plug to the Let's Talk Football peeps right there. That I could never do a Saints jersey. Like I have a co-host who is a Saints fan, and I know that one day she's going to be like, "Oh, let's make a bet, Andrew." And
let's do it.
Like, nope, I can't do it. I'll do a Falcons and I'll do a Panthers, sure, but no.
I was going to say, I think I would rather, being from Chicago, I'd rather wear a Packers jersey than put on a Blues sweater or Blues anything for that matter. And that's saying something for those that are familiar. Yeah.
So for NFL, it would definitely be the Packers. Is that what it is for you?
Probably, yeah. That would be the worst one.
What about
obvious reasons?
What about Jamie in the back there? What's the one jersey that Jamie in the back there wouldn't wear? Is it Packers too?
He actually left. But it is Packers. I know it is Packers. Yeah. Jamie said, "See you guys. I'm out of here, nerds." We started talking, and he's like, "Nope, done."
That's hilarious.
But I'm pretty sure it would be Packers.
Or what? Now here's the big one. Here's the big one.
All right, lay it on me.
Here's the money one.
Okay.
Would it be a St. Louis Blues jersey?
Okay.
Or a St. Louis Cardinals jersey?
Oh, I don't like either of those. Oh man,
and I know that too, and I love my Cardinals. So.
I was gonna say that was the other thing. You told me you're a Cardinals fan. I'm like, oh my god, he's just backwards on everything. But I think it would be. I'd rather wear the Cardinals mostly because like baseball is like not my major thing, which is funny too. Again, I've been down for Cardinals Cubs games in Busch Stadium all the time. A lot of fun. Still just don't like that team. Just don't like any St. Louis sports. Really?
That's fair. Because
I mean, I don't even like the Rams, and they're not in St. Louis anymore. So
you just hate them because they were.
I
there
just
for
don't
as
like it.
long.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
guilt by association at this point. Is really what it is.
I've with regards to that, like, first of all, jealous that you've been able to go into the Cardinal Stadium.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
And I sit because I've sat on this, and I'm like, why would you hate that? And I'm like, okay, I get it, right? And I'm like, I know you guys don't hate me, but I know that you're like, oh, if you ever wear some damn Cardinals jersey,
I swear to God, if there's a bird on that shirt, I'm gonna rip it off of them. Yeah, the tire's okay, but that bird is crossing the line too hard.
Yeah, like, listen, I got Bruin fans too, but I'm like, you ain't ever coming to my house wearing that jersey. That's for damn sure.
And the worst part is, like, going back to the Bruins, everybody wants to wear one or even a blank one because of Happy Gilmore.
Yep.
Because he was wearing primarily or almost entirely the Bruins the whole time, and everybody's like, "Let's do that." I'm like, no, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna buy a Hawks sweater first. You're gonna buy a Bruins one, a blank one at that, or one that says Gilmore on it. Nah, get out of here.
No,
let's just ride out.
I am happy that, and I just lost the movie or TV show or whoever it was there, but the person who always did wear the Red Wings jersey that started to make it popular in the 80s, 90s there again. I'm very happy that they did it because now everybody was like, well, yeah, I got to get one of those. They fly.
Yeah, they work too. Like, they cover everything. So you could have any kind of body type underneath that. Nobody would ever know.
Exactly.
Which is it's fashion at its height right there.
Which, by the way, I had to take this thing out of my living room. I'm going to just.
Let's take a look at.
So I do have a jersey, obviously, hanging. Yeah. This is an old jersey and it's signed.
Ooh, okay.
Nice, slowly.
Slow reveal. Ooh, that's very nice.
Yes. That's my baby right there.
Too. That's perfect. That was the last game I went to last season. It was. I'm trying to remember who was against. It might have been against the Devils, actually, now I think about it. But
shout out to our Devil fan, Ray Leo out there.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did we catch what was that, the Toronto mess against the Ducks? I did not actually catch that one. I was asleep as if you could believe it or not. I went to bed kind of early.
I try to not watch anything any Toronto.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, that's fair. And you were still recovering from having to watch Monday too, so that's not good.
It's not. I don't want it anymore. Like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, I'm scared to go up against Montreal now because they always seem to put 9 on us.
Yeah, just enough. I was gonna say, I have noticed that actually that this seems to be a really high-scoring year, even though, granted, it's still kind of early, I guess, if you could still keep calling it early. It's been about 10 games on average played, but I've noticed it's been really high scoring. Well, I mean, obviously yesterday with you, it was, what was that, a total of like 12 goals or something? Was it 8-4 or
8-3?
Actually, 8-3.
Yeah.
So there's 11. And then I think all the Hawks games this weekend went to at least like 8 points. So it's just been very offensively minded, I feel like. Looking at it, look at that. Anaheim beat the Leafs.
You stole at least a point out of each of the games this weekend. So
I was going to say, yeah, we're it goes back to what I was saying last week. Even though we were winning a lot, I was like, individual achievement is looking good for the Hawks, but as a team, it's still a little shifty. So everybody looks good in an OT loss, and we get a point for it, but we still technically lose.
Yep.
So the team goes down while everybody else's stocks go up, which is what I'm expecting more of this year. I mean, especially like, I don't know if you saw the game or the highlights from the game against the Wild, which we lost to a shootout, I believe. But Athanasiou's goal. Yeah, okay. Well, you beat them before they got their footing, but just going to put that out there. But Athanasiou had a great goal.
That was a pretty goal.
It was dirty. Athanasiou, Domi, and Lafferty are looking really good for some juicy trades, I feel like, later, whether it's picks or like a younger player with a longer contract later. I mean, we're looking good for the future. This season, I'm still not feeling it. Gnome sweater. Ooh, they're still harping on you for the bet there.
I wanted to make sure I get everybody's comment in here tonight too. And Taylor says the gnome sweater. Yeah.
For those that are unfamiliar, we had a bet for the first official meeting of the Red Wings Blackhawks game. Yes, thank you very much. I was in attendance, and the bet for that was whatever team won, the other person would have to wear an ugly Christmas sweater style of the other team, and Blackhawks won in OT. That was pretty good. So
Yeah.
all hope was lost there for a little bit, but I kept holding on, and it paid off.
Them just like in absolute bewilderment. Speaking of which, Marner got yes.
I did see that, because they collapsed. I didn't see that happen, but I saw the reports after. I was like, oof! I had the double take. I didn't think that was real.
So
yeah.
They in Canada now. I don't know what you guys in the States have for hockey content, like who you have after a game that talks content, or even like in the morning who talks content. We have Sports Center, and we have a few of the older guys, and they're not the greatest. Don't get me wrong; they've been around, and I give them props.
So they at least know what they're talking about in general, correct?
I do wish more money was just went through the NHL so they could add more of those guys around, and it was a little bit more popular. Anyway, I heard that some of the guys were talking afterwards, and there was a disagreement. One guy was just like, "Good, bench him. Fuck him if he's a star." I had to actually check what platform I was on quick. I'm like, "Oh shit, what?"
Wait, can I say that? Yes. Okay, we're good.
It's like, fuck him. Bench him if he's not playing well and he's worth all those millions. Who the fuck cares?
Then make him earn it. I agree with that sentiment.
Now the other side of it is, don't bench him for one fucking series, because that's what the other guy was saying. Don't bench him for one fucking series and then throw him back out there on the ice and say, "Go win me the fucking game."
Yeah, it's like, hey, you were just really bad, but at the same token, could you maybe win for us, please? Like, pretty please? And then I promise I won't do it again. Like, that's the mixed messaging you get if you don't stand by it, and that's what happens.
We paid you so much money. Please.
We shouldn't be having to ask you this. You should do it.
They were lucky to get a point because a goal got overturned, or they would have lost in regulation. I had also seen something about that.
There was an overturned goal. I didn't realize it was. I thought that was earlier on, and it wouldn't have had such a big impact. But look at that. Every point counts. So.
And now here's the other thing, too. I think everybody kind of knows this with regards to Toronto is Toronto is just like, it's Canada's version of an LA market or especially the New York market. Toronto is Canada's team.
Yeah, it's like the Cowboys are America's team or something. Everybody's like, where the hell did they get that from?
Exactly. Now, because, and everybody kind of knows it too. I think now with the Cowboys, it's kind of getting to, and the Yankees too. They're kind of getting to that point
where they're phasing
like,
out a little bit. Yeah,
they phase out, but their fan base and even like in group settings and talk, everybody still is just like, I don't want them to win, but they also do want them to win. So that everyone kind of has that big party, because you know it's going to happen.
Oh, it will, yeah.
Just like when the Cubs, and again,
hell yeah,
massive respect to the Cubs. When the Cubs won the World Series, I took a day off so that I could be at home to watch the parade the celebration, like their big thing.
That's funny. That's awesome.
You guys had a bigger turnout for that than your damn presidential election or inaugural speech or whatever the heck it was called.
What was it, 5.5 million people in Chicago that one day, which was nuts. I remember because I was working at the time I was working at Jewel, which is just a local like grocery center or store here in Illinois specifically. But they were going around asking people like, hey, just let us know if you're not going to show up to work or not. Like, don't even bother taking a day off. We can't stop you. I was like, no, I'll come into work, just because I knew it was just going to be such a bear to get down there for it. It was the easiest day of work in my life. I sat on my phone and watched the parade anyway because nobody was in. Everybody was downtown. So it was just a nice, calm day. I want that again.
It was the same thing in Canada because we haven't really had the same thing since the 2010. Like the Raptors championship was close.
I was going to say that one was a few years ago. I think was the last Canadian championship
that
team,
was
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was like the last, biggest one. And it was fun because if I could ever find the damn clip, I will find it. But they show, like, when Toronto won, they show like all the biggest hot spots in all the major cities in Canada, like where everybody was partying. And of course, they go to Edmonton, They go to the Northland Center where I was. And what do you see is the one truck. Because when we were leaving the building, it was kind of quiet. And I like ripped my shirt off and I was like, we won. And they're not even my team. I am a Thunder fan. Yeah. And when Seattle comes back, I go right back to the freaking Seattle Supersonics. And if they're not called the Supersonics, then
no deal. Yeah.
Fuck basketball. Fair. I'll go put all their names in a hat and draw one after that, like, kind of thing. But when Raptors won, like when I took my shirt off, there was a few other people who were getting rowdy, started coming out of the building. Yeah. And it was a riot that started. And there was a few vehicles that popped in the middle, and there was beer cans and just kegs
going for it.
Just going everywhere. And the helicopter right above, we were all rocking the vehicles while the helicopter was above. And I was on TV. I was literally on the news when they were showing them all and stuff. And I was like, hey, that's cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
But Canada's hockey. We do the hockey thing. So with Olympics, it was 2010. Obviously, was the big one. I remember when we won that one, and not to rub it in the Americans' faces. I understand that Salt Lake City was like the reason why you guys got to the gold medal game that year. Yeah, and the reason you tied it with 32 seconds to go. Thank you, Zach Parise. I remember every name. Don't think
I was going to say, I bet that's burned into your mind now, that list of people.
You have no idea, because it was 2-1. And Canada, like us as a nation, you could go outside and just hear like the chanting, like everyone in the whole freaking country was just like, ole, ole. Yeah. And as soon as Zach Parise scored that goal, which I think it was 32 or 37.1
it was like 30 seconds-ish left. Yeah, just complete silence. The most silent Canada's ever been in its lifetime.
Oh my God. And so I was like, this is what happens when we get too cocky. I was like, we're going to lose on our soil, and we are never going to get this shot again. America will get 5 different Olympics before
we'll keep going, no problem. Yeah.
Like, you'll host 5 of them before we ever get to sniff one ever again. And I'm like, oh, no. And then
please not now. Yeah.
When we won it, that was awesome. But in 2014, we had Sweden, and the prime minister at the time basically was like, all bars are open now.
Declared it, a national holiday type deal.
And just like national holidays, when you get those, you're going to need some refreshments. So let us take you for a quick commercial break with some of our sponsors.
Hello, this is Paul from Nick and Ivy Brewing Company. We are located at 1026 South State Street in historic downtown Lockport, Illinois. We are very excited to be partnering up with the Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show, as well as the 1252 brand, because we are one of the few Chicagoland breweries that embrace sports and sports culture. Come in for a fresh brewed beer made right here in Lockport while catching the game of your favorite team. Stay for the live music that we have booked every weekend, or just come for a cozy atmosphere to enjoy a good conversation with a friend, loved one, or complete stranger. Nick and Ivy makes you feel right at home no matter what the occasion is. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook by searching for Nick and Ivy Brewing Company. Visit our website for our up-to-date tap list, or to go shopping on our online store at nickivybrewing.com. That's Nikivy brewing.com. Come in today for fresh brewed beer born and raised in Lockport, Illinois.
Fuzzy football, are you ready, brother? Real football action on a glossy game surface played shuffle style. Slide a shuffle puck at pass or run targets, and a free mobile app keeps track of every game detail. Easy to learn, but this game of skill is difficult to master. Take care of the ball, or turnovers will kill your drive. The game is guaranteed to get your competitive fire burning, and it's perfectly sized to take anywhere. The park, a barbecue, your next tailgate, or fun at home on game nights. Fuzzy football is simply the best, most realistic and competitive game of football available anywhere. Add defense when your skill improves and take the game to the next level. The perfect mix of fast action and real football drama, where a last-second Hail Mary can break hearts or make champions.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Darren, licensed real estate broker with Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group in Homer Glen. Are you looking to buy or sell? Have you been disappointed in the past? The Jonathan Darren team with Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group focuses on providing you with a concierge level of service during the process of buying or selling. We are a service-oriented team with a fresh and professional approach to selling real estate. Our goal is to combine knowledge, skills, and passion to exceed our clients' expectations, and most of all, we truly care. We are a knowledgeable real estate team focused on offering expertise and innovative solutions for our clients. The Jonathan Darren team has 5 full-service real estate brokers and a dedicated full-time marketer servicing all of Chicagoland. We will customize a detailed plan around your timeline for a sale, purchase, investment, estate, or other needs. Real estate transactions can be stressful, but don't need to be. Let us handle it for you. Visit our website, homesbyjdt.com, or call 708-308-1938 today. Expect better in real estate. Choose the Jonathan Darren team.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Whistle Sports Bar and Grill 159 studio here in Lockport, Illinois. Just grabbed some tasty refreshments for myself. But yeah, we were just talking about, we were going into a diatribe there about how Toronto is like the Canadian market city there, right?
Yep.
For Canada. Okay.
Yeah, it's the big one there. Like Ray here was saying, he likes watching the Canadian broadcast of the Leafs. When the Leafs are playing poor, they let them know it.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. I really, 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 for a bit there when I was younger, was like, am I like when you first kind of pick your team and you're not in the city from, and I'm like, maybe I should just go with everybody else and be part of this
Easier,
Maple Leaf thing. But it was just so fun being on the opposite side. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Red Wings suck," and blah blah blah. Steve Eiselman's overrated. I'm like, "Oh, I like."
I think you heard a lot of that, yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard a lot of that. So, what I did hear Cindy also say is, which team do you think is better in overtime play?
Ooh, interesting. Which
Them?
you probably us.
You
right
guys,
now, we're doing all right, I think, in the OT department. Granted, we have the 2 OT losses currently, but we also have 2 wins in overtime as well. So
the highlights of you guys in overtime are really nice, even in a shootout. Like,
yeah, it's not to toot my own horn there for my team, but we're looking a bit better with the 3-on-3, because I remember back in was it 2013, I think, when they introduced the 3-on-3 overtime for 5 minutes or whatever. Like, that was designed for us, like, entirely. As soon as it went to OT, we pretty much won, I think, 99% of the time. And we're starting to look a bit more like that, because we have people that are actually fast. I mean, Taves looks incredibly quick compared to how he has been for the past few years on top of it. So
seems like when you take almost 2 years off, respectively, you had an injury, but when you take 2 years off from a very violent sport, like, you just come back refreshed.
Yeah, your body seems to heal or something, which is kind of weird. I didn't think it worked like that, but apparently it does.
Who would have thought about it? It almost as if there's millions of dollars in contracts and endorsements that holds these players back from doing things. Like, shit.
Weird. But yeah, I think between the 2 of us, it is. Zach Priest doesn't exist to some of us.
And then I had to
He's
pop
not
out.
real. He can't hurt you anymore.
Well, and that's why not allowed in Canada. Like, if we had here, like, he went to Minnesota and that was the closest. We were like, hey,
boy, you're getting a little close to the border there. Why don't you keep going back down south?
And
definitely from New Jersey. Yep, absolutely.
Now, he also says this: can we just go to 3-versus-3 continuous OT already and get rid of the stupid shootout?
Ooh, so interesting. How do you feel about that? Because I know my opinion on it very well.
If it's the regular season, it wouldn't work, only because some people have to play games like the next day, and there's already like pre-planned like flights and stuff like that. Yep. So like, even if it goes to a shootout, they kind of already know like when it is. And someone will turn around and be like, well, we've seen one of those games go to like the 17th round. And I'm like, okay, yes, that's 1,000%, but it's not as long as 3 overtimes or anything.
True.
Like that. So now if you're asking for playoffs, no, I'm a hockey purist. Don't touch my overtime. I want to live one day for a 5:00 game, probably going to be like Maple Leafs in Montreal.
Okay.
Go all the way to overtime,
Mm-hmm.
and then continuously go to overtime. And then by that time, the Vancouver game is done, the LA King game done, Anaheim game is all done and stuff like that. And Toronto and Montreal are played into like the 6th overtime.
Yeah, they're playing like 4 games of hockey by the time one is over.
so when the what do you call it? The history of it, of all these long games, and they show like Toronto versus Montreal 1942 and 51 and stuff like that. The teams don't change. It's just the years. It just shows the rivalry. So I still am hoping for it. I don't even like the fact that TikTok is on these helmets. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, I was gonna say that leads into a huge rant for me, but my solution or suggestion, as it were, regarding the 3v3, I agree with you. It has to end at some point in regulation. In playoffs, yeah, I say you could play 24 hours. I'd be perfectly fine with it. I would suggest maybe making it, instead of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like half a period of 3-on-3, because at that point somebody should score a goal. Like, it's highly more likely that that'll happen given a little bit more time. Because I mean, I know last season I could count probably like 8 different games that were almost a goal, but expired before it crossed the line. So if it was 10 minutes, I think that would be perfect.
Now, see, Ray also said, no, definitely not in the playoffs, which I'm glad that you appreciate that too. It's just like, leave the playoff ones alone. Because so many people are like, I would get into hockey, especially in the playoffs, if these games weren't so long. I want to see.
What are you talking about? Yeah, don't you want more of it? Come on.
I want Edmonton and Calgary hitting each other for 7 periods.
Yeah, right? That sounds phenomenal. I mean,
absolutely.
People watch MMA fights for like, fight night goes on for like 6 hours. So why couldn't a hockey game? There's just hockey in between the fights. That's perfect. But now, I agree with him. What are the odds it goes deep in the night? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think 10 minutes would be good. And if you don't by that point, then it's a shootout, because most likely somebody's going to be playing the next day regardless. That's the only contingency. If they weren't playing, I'd say, keep it going. Why not?
Especially if someone pulls a Sergei Fedorov and just says, fuck it, pull the goalie, it's 4-on-3
Screw it, let's see what happens. Yeah, let it go. Which was another thing I was thinking. Instead of if you get a penalty, instead of going to 4v3, just make it 3v2. Like, that's your fault for doing something stupid, reckless. I mean, they're going to score a goal there, so don't be dumb.
Man, I see that one. I would push back a little bit on it, just because I'm like, because then you're making a coach and the players really have to go into some shit. Like,
that's true,
it's
but
literally just you on the ice, Marcus Granlund or whatever. Like,
So there's 3 of them and the goaltender. They're probably going to pull him too. So you're facing 4 attackers. All you need to do is just not screw it up. Okay, like, Chief, you got this. Go get him. Like,
at that point, why is it not just like, okay, everybody make a box around the net and literally just open
and just
fire.
slap at it? Yeah. At that point, you just surrender. Yeah, we capitulate. You're good. Take the win. Whatever.
Chris Russell doesn't exist for every team. He's not going to sit there and lay down for every puck. Okay. Man.
That's when you bring in your third string goaltender that weighs like 600 pounds, and you put him in there. You say, all right, just don't move and you're good. Just block the entire net, see what happens.
Now,
I think there's something there.
Is there a rule about that? Because I know I don't know if you because it's going to sound dumb. Because you can technically pull your goalie and then put another goalie out there. And then if that goalie sucks, you can pull that goalie and put the other goalie back in.
Yeah, you could. Normally, you don't see it do it because you want them a little warmed up and see how the ice is to block it. But you could.
But that could
absolutely switch the goaltenders at any time.
So you could do that. So if the league starts going in a weird way, where we start doing weird shit, where like we can get down to 1 person left on the ice and 4 people like on the goalie, I want to take a timeout. And I am going to get Mr. Sumo Wrestler there all dressed up.
Yeah, get him dressed and throw him out there.
Yeah, and with some loose tape on his thing. So when he gets out there, he can just literally hook it around the poles and just sit there. Good.
I say, so we're going to pull like, what was that, like 80s NBA and MLB when viewership just tanked and they're just throwing anything at the wall to see what happens. If we ever get to that point, I say let it.
Now, speaking of tanking, I like this. Switching
Ooh,
gears
yeah,
a
let's
bit.
hear it.
Is the league serious with the Coyotes? Tempe just voted no on a new building the other day. Forget about the locker room situation. They couldn't even sell out the home opener in a 5,000 person
I
arena.
did see that they didn't sell out, but it's even funnier because I did take a peek at that home opener, and I think that was the loudest I've ever heard the home crowd for the Coyotes. They didn't even have a sold out crowd.
Now, in their defense, I'm the Red Wings fan, so I am the reason why Coyote fans don't have a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you are entirely the reason.
When they had the best assembled squad that they've had since possibly
Since conception,
since the early 90s, when they had like Habby Boolin and a couple of those other guys that they inevitably traded for picks so that but oh my god, they had a squad and Detroit just destroyed them. And then of course they finally avoid Detroit all the way through and they got to go through you.
Yep. And then we were there instead. And they're like, oh, this pain never ends, does it? No, it does not.
No offense, Shane Doan. You were awesome, and we were glad that they assembled that team around you. But Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane could have ran fucking circles around you guys.
Yep, literally spinning. They had them spinning essentially on their head the whole time, which sucks. But too long-winded. Yeah, I think they are serious with them regardless. But we'll see what happens. I mean, okay, so here's an interesting question for you, Andrew.
Yep.
What it would be the first and foremost thing you would do if you were the owner of the Coyotes to try and turn that team around, as it were? Would you focus on the team, like the marketing, the attendance? What would you try to tackle first?
Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, I would literally walk into Gary Bettman's office and be like, your Arizona plan is done and it is not working. I am the fucking owner.
Yeah.
Technically, you're the owner, and I get that, blah, 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 blah.
Well,
yeah, however you want to call it.
Yeah, however you want to divide that, but that's...
Which, by the way, our show is going to get shut down now because we just
I was going to say, you just said
called
Voldemort's name out loud.
Yeah.
Now we're done.
I basically said where Voldemort lives. Like, that's his retirement plan right there, is the fucking Phoenix Coyotes. But no, I would pay, like, in all realness, I would pay off his half and be like, I now own this team.
Just take it fully.
This is my team. So now there's a three-year relocation plan. That's what I would be applying for, because if this team, like right now, and we're talking literally right now,
like literally today,
like I got this team, I have a chance at Connor Bedard. This is
a very real shot.
We talk about this every show because this is something that people have to understand.
It's on everybody's minds, until he gets drafted.
McDavid, what's going on with the Oilers?
Yep.
Sidney Crosby, what's going on with the Pittsburgh Penguins? Steve Yzerman, what was going on with the Red Wings? Ovechkin, what's going on with the Capitals? Bedard is going to do that for an NHL squad.
Yep.
And Arizona right now has the best opportunity to get him. And last year, they did a good job in the first round getting Logan Cooley, Morgan Geike, and Maverick Lamoureux. Like they have young guys that they are going to put in this system. They even went and grabbed a goalie from Finland, which I forgot about. And I was
that's right. They did go overseas to import one, which I thought was weird because you'd expect a team that doesn't know anything about hockey to not do that, and they did. So it's almost, okay.
It's almost as if they went from like everything else is bad. Our scouting department is just going to be like
just
near
all over
Detroit, like the best out there. So they've done good. And so that's why I'd be like, it is an absolute atrocity that you have arguably a top 5 logo in the NHL.
Yeah. I mean, especially that 90s one.
Thank you. Top three
so
retro throwback jersey in that one right there.
100%.
Now, not only that, you take the whole fan base that has literally existed from the old school Jets, and they still do the whiteout. I get that whiteout for playoffs and stuff like that. I have a fan base that is waiting for it.
Yep.
Wherever I get to go to relocate, Virginia Beach.
I was going to say, do you have locations off the top of your head that you would move that team to?
Virginia Beach, Salt Lake City, Regina, Canada.
Regina, okay.
So the reason I say Regina is if you can get hockey to work in such a smaller town like Winnipeg and sell that thing out for 5 years
somehow,
you can do that when like everyone knows who the Rough Riders are in the CFL for crying out loud.
That's a good point.
That fan base would do the same thing for a fucking hockey team.
That's true. Yeah.
Because
that's kind of like the same level as like the Oakland Raiders were at some point. They're like, does California really need another hockey team, especially in Oakland? And then that was probably the most diehard fan base. And then when they moved to Las Vegas, we're a little beat up, but then they just bought new merchandise and now they're Las Vegas Raiders. So that's a fair point.
So now a couple like other ones, just so that we can clip this one day and everyone be like, what teams did it? What cities did it?
Which city is it? Because how did he know? Yeah.
I'm saying I'm also throwing in there as like weird hypotheticals. The other three would be Salt Lake City because that one keeps getting talked about as a hockey
keep
destination.
Talking about that one.
Toronto getting a second team, please, and then let them win a cup.
God, could you imagine that? They move in, so they pretty much pull like what is that? Like a Cleveland Browns. They move to Baltimore, immediately win, just completely shitting on everybody around them and their old fan base. Like, see, it was your fault. We were good. Yeah, that would be phenomenal.
Or the random one, Orlando. Like throw it.
Orlando,
it seems to work down in.
Yeah, that's true. It can't do it in a desert, but in a humid, swampy environment, for some reason where ice is so much worse to handle, it does much better. Interesting.
1,000%.
So cool.
Those are the locations that I would be. It's 3 years. So the first year is I want all the interest kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next half year, that's where I make my decision because you better either have a stadium ready to go,
or plans for it. Yeah.
You have to have plans for a stadium then, so that I can convince my fan base who is sitting in a 5,000 fucking stadium.
Hey, trust me, this is going to be better. It's a little further away, but they'll be a part of it. Yeah.
Fine. But honestly, out of all that, that's what would happen. But the one other thing that would make sense, and Bettman will never do it and I understand living up here, it's hard, and especially. It's not one thing when you do this in Canada, like when you have a hockey team in Canada. It's another thing when you put a hockey team in Canada in the French land. So as much as it makes sense to put the team in Quebec City because they have the $1 billion stadium, everything, they will not do it.
I don't not do it. I don't like Quebec. I know. I'm not a fan.
Ray says that's exactly what it is. The Coyotes are Bettman's pet project, and he doesn't want to see them fail.
That's like the worst kept secret in the NHL. Like it is so blatantly obvious. Like that even the owners talk about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure even the Phoenix Coyotes or Arizona Coyotes. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Jeez, I went way back there. Wow.
I don't call them Arizona Coyotes. I'm like, it's the Phoenix Coyotes.
I still do right there too. I've known it's been the Arizona for how long now. I still immediately go there. But I mean, even they know it. They know what it is, and I feel like that's the problem. Yeah. Chance that Matthews goes there too. Yeah.
I've said it before too. If you told me that if Matthews became like a free agent, or if you were the Coyotes and you were told that you can have Bedard, like you still get the chance to draft Bedard, and you ended up with Bedard. You now have Bedard, Logan Cooley, Morgan Geike, all those guys.
That's
Clayton Keller
line in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Austin Matthews added to that. Now all of a sudden, like Tempe or even Phoenix are all going to be like,
oh, hold on. We all of a sudden have like at least a guaranteed postseason team right here. So maybe we just let this ride out.
The Phoenix Suns just said that we would agree to the whole agreement that you guys wanted like 10 years ago. Like, yeah, we got you.
Hold on. That doesn't sound so bad right now. Let's try it out. Yeah, of course. Let's see how this goes. If there was one, I think that would turn it around for sure.
You know what else sounds really, really good right now?
What sounds really good right now?
A couple of commercials to tell you guys about some other cool stuff going on here at 1252 Chicago Sports.
Absolutely. That sounds wonderful. Let's see it.
Let's get a couple of them going right now. We'll be right back right after these.
Stagecoach in Lockport has a unique menu from fresh salads and burgers to venison and steak sandwiches. We feature plenty of appetizers and desserts for a perfect way to start or end your meal. Come into our country western bar and dining room or relax outside on our patio sitting in the heart of downtown Lockport on State Street. We can accommodate both small gatherings and large parties. offering 16 different beers on tap, frozen margaritas, an extensive bourbon and whiskey menu, and our famous Bloody Marys. You cannot go wrong at Stagecoach. And if you're feeling lucky, come try DJ Bingo on Tuesdays or our Big Pay slot machines all week. Stagecoach is located at 1028 South State Street in Lockport, Illinois. Everyone is a friend at Stagecoach. Hope to see y'all soon.
Hey, this is your girl Ruby from Habano Cigars in Homer Glen, Illinois. We are the best cigar lounge around. From Davidoff exclusives to anything Plasencias, from rare Opus X's and everything in between. We literally have it all. And if it's not here, we'll get it for you. Here at Habano Cigar Lounge, we host amazing and exceptional events on the last Thursday of every month. That includes free food, raffles, prizes, and giveaways. We're open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, Friday and Saturday 9 to 11, and on Sunday 10 to 10 p.m. Again, we are located at 133 West 143rd in Homer Glen, Illinois, so drop by and give us a call today, 708-590-6473. Habano Cigars, Homer Glen. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Hi, this is Kathy O'Connell at Coach's Corner, located at 8118 West 143rd Street in Orland Park. Our phone number is 708-364-1026. We are Orland Park's #1 sports bar. Come in for our wonderful beer menu and seltzers with a fully stocked bar. Watch a game, drink a beer, and try something off our amazing menu. We have everything to choose from: nachos, potato skins, and our house-made bar chips to start off with. Then try our tacos, burgers, and one of our delicious sandwiches. And don't leave without trying our famous jumbo wings. They do not disappoint. Coach's Corner. It will sure to become your local bar. Again, we are located at 8118 West 143rd Street in Orland Park. Come see us today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Whistle Sports Bar and Grill 159 studio here in Lockport, Illinois. Andrew and I were just waxing poetic about how you would potentially take the Coyotes from what they are now into a top-tier team. And I think we got a pretty good plan. I mean, you're right, moving them, good start right there for sure. Decent amount of cities that are showing interest. We agree that it's definitely not going to Quebec because that is right out. So... Anything more you want to add to that with the drafting plan or something?
No, not even drafting. We would do something so crazy. We would go we would approach obviously the Tampa Bay Lightning and be like, what's it going to cost to get Vasilevsky? They'd be like, what the fuck are you calling it?
Who do you think you are? Yeah.
Don't you fucking call us again. Be like, sorry, that's fine. And then we'd eventually get to the Florida Panthers. Be like, how much for Spencer Knight? And they'd be like, well, and be like, oh, we got one.
Yeah,
oh, shit.
Like, oh, let's talk numbers. You'd be like, yes, we got him. Yes, but yeah, you're right. I mean, you got to have the audacity if you're going to take it. And eventually you will find something that's like, it's the Coyotes. Yeah, let's just hear what they have to offer because it's probably going to be a lot. And then you just take it from there. But I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
I really, really, really want the Coyotes to do good. I really do. Just like I eventually want every single team except for the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs to win a cup.
Blues. And the Blues already did, but that one's an asterisk next to that one.
Do you call it the COVID one? Are you one of those people that call it the COVID Cup? And you're
well, Tampa Bay first. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yes, that's okay.
Absolutely, okay. But St. Louis Blues, that one, I don't think they're going to come at me for this, but I don't think they didn't really win that one. They kind of got it handed to them, as it were.
You mean like how the New Orleans Saints were handed a Lombardi because of certain economical events that were going on?
Yeah, that's weird. All it takes to get really good at football is just have a natural disaster destroy your team. They just kind of let you go through it. Yeah,
exactly.
Oof. Yeah, straying into that territory. Oh, thank you, Ray.
Watching a rebuild for 10 years, I think they are going in the right direction, but they need to get people to watch them.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. That's the problem is well, with anything in sports, I mean, to briefly just mention like WNBA, it's the same thing there. It's if nobody watches and nobody supports financially, either through advertisement or merchandise purchases, you don't really have a sports team. You just have a club that you personally go to, and that's about it. You can't be, I guess, like prime time or even NHL caliber if you don't have an audience, because that's what pays for literally everything.
Yep, literally.
And that just sucks.
Ray, like, I hate to say it like this, though you've had two of my favorite players of all time. Like, it's Martin Brodeur is the greatest goaltender of all time.
Absolutely.
I will not hear any Patrick Waugh talk against it.
No.
Even though your Jamie can sit in the back on that one and shut up.
Yeah, I know. He will say Waugh forever, but who is phenomenal, but he's not number.
I'd still take Hasek over Waugh, but we don't need to go into that one.
I was going to say, that's a whole can of worms right there. Yeah. We'll get to that next week.
But I'm so glad that he won and was appreciated in the time that he played, which was Scott Stevens. Because if that guy played now, he'd be ejected every single fucking game.
I don't think he'd even touch the ice for most of the games. I think they just have a preliminary, you're banned, locker room, go.
10-minute misconduct for looking
for being here at the stadium playing the sport you're paid to. No, that's unacceptable. Get out of here.
Which is
a shame.
Well, it is a shame, but also it's funny because when you look at him, like, and what he did, he's the one that like really cements Paul Kariya's career. Like, and why Paul Kariya deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, he was an injury-prone player, and he had all these problems, and he led the Ducks to the stuff. Yeah. But the hit that he took from Scott Stevens, and he comes back and he scores that goal. It was like,
you know what? Got to give it to that guy. He fights through it, and that is not an easy thing to bounce back from, because that was not well, let's just put it this way. That hit were to happen today, I think he'd be suspended for the rest of the season.
What was it Rafi Torres that made that one hit, was suspended like 46 games or something stupid like that?
It was like 44 games. It was like over half the season he was suspended for, and he fought it and he lost. So he had fight. I think it got reduced a little bit, but he still spent most of the season just at home watching all the games he was supposed to be at.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous because it was like that was when Brendan Shanahan, I think, was the guy who was laying out all these fines or something like that.
Yeah, completely. Because what was that, like a boarding call or something that got him that insane suspension? And if you look at it, it was a boarding call, but I don't think it was worth half that season suspension. I mean, at that point is like he's trying to kill the guy that you give him like that much, and he wasn't. That's just how he played.
You want to know what's half of a season? When you slash someone's fucking finger off, Crosby.
Oh yeah, we're gonna that's I think it was a bit before the time, but that's a Shoresy play right there for sure. If I've ever seen it.
Fucking nothing. Like the other dude at least got up. I mean, some people are going to use the whole Matt Moore thing on me. And then listen, in his and Nolan's defense and Bertuzzi's defense, when you are in the NHL and you literally come into the NHL with that goon mentality, and you're like, I'm going to be a scorer and a goon, so I can do both.
I can do whatever I want. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you went after Marcus Naslund. You knew exactly what team you were fucking playing. You knew exactly what you had to do, and yet you just started skating around like a little bitch. Yep. No wonder Bertuzzi had to do what he had to do. I don't condone it.
Yep.
But no fucking wonder.
Yeah. You don't have to endorse or condone, but you can see why and what led to it. And that's, I think, something that's lacking and or frowned upon or too harshly penalized today in hockey is that kind of thing. Because you can do, and this has been up my ass for the last few years, and I'll always mention it. I mean, you could talk to whomever I watch the Hawks around. Where the hell did the embellishment penalty go? Why did that disappear? Because we're starting to look a little bit like NBA out there with the amount of falling over and like the high sticks that like glance over the visor. Granted, yeah, technically that's a high stick, but you don't go back and grab. Oh man, my tooth. I got a penalty. Oh no, oh it's still in there. We're good. All right, I'm good to play another 2 minutes. No, you get high sticked. You go down because you got a stick in the face. But if it glances off, you can still skate through that. But they want the penalty, and they've learned some bad tactics from the NBA that I don't like. And for whatever reason, they're not calling embellishment anymore.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous because I don't like it when games go into that because, and I know that we've had a problem with the referee caught on the hot mic there and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was not good.
You're like, well, you never know when a referee is going to be able to call like something or when penalties are going to be able to be called. It's like,
what do you mean? You're a ref. You don't go out there looking for penalties to call. No. You just play the game.
No. Ray says embellishment penalty was called 3 times in the Cap games.
Was it really?
Last night. That's awesome.
Damn. Okay, good. So it's not dead. It's just diminished severely, but 3 times, that's phenomenal.
He said Domi has flat out Chase Stevens for years. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
And what I was going to say on top of what you said here, Ray, with regards to the Devils, kind of what the transition I was saying is the Devils are the East Coast version of the Vancouver Canucks. And I mean it in all respect. If you hate the Canucks, please don't take that as disrespect. What I mean is year in and year out since the last 10 or 15 years, your team is either like, holy shit, we're pretty damn good with like PK Subban and Blackwood and a couple of the young guys that you had going there a few years back. Yeah. And then it's like, boom. You know what I mean? Oh, he says, ironically, they play the Canucks tonight too. Look at that. I didn't even know that. And that's like how Vancouver's been. Vancouver's had the players, they've had the talent, they've had the coaches, they've had the GM. Same thing with New Jersey. They've had the coaches, they've had the history.
Yeah, granted, they had a pedigree for it. Yeah, for a
Vancouver
while
doesn't have the cups that New Jersey does. New Jersey's got.
I think it's at 4.
3. I can count them right there. 1, 2, and then
just the 2.
No, they got no.
I was gonna say they have more than 2.
They got more than. I'm gonna say 3. I think it's 3. Ray, how many do they?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm gonna quick Google that, but Ray beat me to it.
Yeah, how many do they have? But I remember the one that obviously. What year was that again? Let me get it right. Yeah, that was 1995, where they swept my Red Wings.
Yep, they have three cups: 94, 95, 99, 2000, and 2003, or 2002, 2003. Yeah,
that's
which is that one. Yeah.
Anyone who can see, I have those mini cups that you used to be able to get in like the little dollar things at like Walmart and stuff. And mine stops at 02, like the Red Wings one. Yeah. And I've been waiting for someone to do like the next set of them. And I'm like, come on.
Well,
like,
there might be a business opportunity there for all of you like Etsy type people out there. Because I was going to say that as soon as you pointed to it, I'm like, I think I know what that is, but that hasn't been a thing in so long now. Yeah.
Go point that right over there. Yeah.
No, that's phenomenal.
I even have all the teams ones that you would see right there. That would be the Atlanta Thrashers that you guys see right there.
Yeah, there's the throwback for you. Yeah,
that's
phenomenal.
And then, of course, like all the trophies and shit like that.
It's a shame that it stops at 2002 because you're missing 3 really sexy Blackhawk ones there.
The only one that exists. Hold on, I think the only one that is on there, I think, is.
Do you have the one from like 61 or from like the 30s?
I think it's from 60. I can't remember which one it is. One of them has Chicago on it. I think it's the first one of the set is the Chicago one.
Is that one? Okay. Well, at least there's some representation. I thank you for that. But
yeah, I got some stuff on here. Like I don't want to have Boston, so I put all the Boston logos.
That one could go like all the way in the back shelf. You're not missing anything with that one. Which actually, funny story. Regarding that, it was when was that? Was that the was that 2015 or 2013 when we beat the Boston Bruins for the Cup? I think so.
Yeah,
it was 2013. It was my dad was working. His boss at the time was out of Boston, so they had a bet going on where if we lost, the Bruins won, we'd send them like deep dish pizzas. And if we won, we'd get some lobsters. And let me say, that was the first time I tried lobster. It was really cool. Very good.
Bet.
Sweeter by the victory, too. But that
of course
will always be, especially because it was against the Bruins. And like that was a stacked team, too, because they had everybody. Like if you think modern day Bruins, that's them.
Chara,
Marchand, yep.
Krejci, Bergeron.
Rask was there too for the goaltender. So that was like that's what
and Tim Thomas too.
He was
there.
on that team.
That's right. They had two very good goalies.
It was two like giants just duking it out. So and the right team came out on top, and I think a lot of people were happy about that.
If someone was like pick one between Chicago, Boston, be like Chicago.
Yeah, same thing. Red Wings or Boston. Well, granted they wouldn't play in the cup, but I'd say Red Wings. Yeah, absolutely.
Which listen, I'm gonna state this, and I am a minority person on this.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that they would do the playoffs. I know everybody wants it to go back to like the 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7 and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the staggered kind of seating.
Yeah. I like the idea of going like 1 versus 16 kind of thing. So you get the opportunities of having, say, like Detroit versus Chicago which would happen now. Yeah. But like Detroit versus Boston, Toronto versus Montreal, Calgary versus Edmonton, Colorado versus Detroit, like just these iconic matchups that you can never find in an actual finals.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to finally see.
That would be nice. That would, I think, honestly, and that would be another good thing to boost viewership for teams that say desperately need it. Going back a few minutes there, but
and I know I'm 1,000% aware of the whole time zone thing, and you're like, well, what if everybody's playing on the East Coast thing? And you're like, well, then tell the Maple Leafs they can start at 7.
Yeah, like, you can start whenever you want then at that point because your time zone takes over. So congrats, you're good.
Ray also says I'm not. Yeah, he's not sold on Lindy Ruff. I think they make a change, especially with Brunette behind the bench. Now, I like that idea. It just sucks because, again, like Vancouver and New Jersey, when do you just go and you grab like the next coach, you know what I mean? That like a name that's already been said or one behind the bench, your fan base just kind of goes, all right.
Yeah. Like, trust me, as somebody who has literally just seen that, 4 times now in the last 6 years, absolutely. It's like that. You gotta, even if you grab because I know we were in the running for, or trying to woo a few higher names there. Like, I mean, I think even Tortorella was thrown around once or twice, and I was like, no, I'd rather take I'd rather try somebody new, which is what they ended up doing with currently, and even with putting Dan King as the head coach last year for the Blackhawks, because Colton was still. Granted, he hadn't coached NHL, but he was still known in like AHL and minor leagues and whatnot. I'd rather take an unknown guy and see what he has to offer than everybody knows exactly what this guy's going to do. Like Tortorella, I don't know. I keep harping on him specifically, but that was one I was so vehemently opposed to. I was just like, this is going to be such a bad idea. But you gotta, it's just oof.
As soon as we fired Jeff Blashill and people started being like, well, maybe the Red Wings need to bring Torts in. I'm like, fuck no.
No, don't ever say that again.
I'm like, no. I'm like, you want Moritz Seider to kill him?
Yeah.
Like, Moritz Seider won't put up with that shit.
What you need to do is you need to thoroughly, I don't want to say vet. That's not really the right word, but consider the impact of long-term on how people are going to view him that aren't playing hockey or not directly involved with it. Ergo, like the audience.
Ray says,
ooh, that's a good question.
What do you do with Brad?
I don't know. After saying all that,
I mean, I would keep him until a trade deadline. Or close to, because like Chicago got 2 first rounders or whatever it was out of Tampa for Hagel. So
yeah, we got, which is the weirdest part, that the Hagel trade was probably the best one that we made last year, or including the off season. But
granted, Tampa was like, listen, Hagel just literally fits our system, and that's the guy that we want. We don't care what it's going to take to get him.
And they have a deep run in the finals. They had obviously a really good shot at the cup because they made it to the cup. But yeah, it's the same. Honestly, that actually fits pretty well with the current Blackhawks struggle, which is team does bad, people do well. So try to make it look like he is essentially Jesus on skates at this point, and then try to get somebody else to take him off your hands by giving you tools for next year, honestly, which isn't the greatest answer or best solution, but it's something, especially if he's not working or fitting your vision. That's what I would do. Try to put him in the spot to do well so you can get rid of him later.
1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know he says this. I was going to get a couple more comments in before we get out of here.
And that is the fallback for it. If you keep trading guys away, it sends the wrong message in the locker room. Granted, it is not the best message, but it is still, again, professional sports where that is, especially modern day sports, that is a very real possibility. But at some point you got to put, I guess, team values over individual, I guess, feelings. And that's just the drawback. That's the con to the plan that I suggested, is that it will definitely lower morale, especially if you have to essentially push other people aside to make him look good to get rid of him. It's a slippery slope, double-edged sword, as it were.
And again, I kind of agree too. Like, as people were like, well, why did we trade Anthony Mantha? It's like, well, first of all, if we didn't trade Anthony Mantha, we wouldn't have like a fucking stud goalie in the system coming
else
up
would be
here.
Gone, yeah.
So, like you got to do it sometimes. But I agree with your Devils there, Ray. Maybe we got enough young guys here on the Devils. Let's just chill the fuck out, let them do their thing for a little bit.
Let them develop a little bit before you make any, like, I guess, hard career line decisions, really.
All right, Matt, we got to get out of here. Why don't you tell everybody what we got going on here at 1252?
All right. We got a lot of good things going on here at 1252. Obviously, the One-Timer Hockey Show here on Tuesdays is probably your number one go-to spot. We also have Fred's Hughes Views and Brews here on Mondays at 7 at the same time. Tomorrow night, if you want to talk things, mostly football and then all things Chicago, of course, we've got Fat Mike Chicago Sports Show. And I don't know, Andrew, do you like making money?
I do like making money.
I do like making money too. If you like making money, you could always, of course, watch Harry the Greek's Over Under on Sundays. Especially perfect timing since he's out over in Florida, so you can get in just in time before all the games start to play some nice sports bets for you. Yeah, because that's just the current lineup we have at 1252, and we're only getting better, I think. Andrew, did I miss anything there? Anything you want to add in before we close out for the night?
Didn't miss anything about 1252, that's for sure. But if anybody likes to get a little bit more rated R, some fantasy football content, and just general football talk is what I do at North Sports Dynasty. Got a couple of things coming down the pipe a little bit. I'm going to have you on there soon there too, buddy. We'll have a whole segment. Oh, yeah. We'll have a whole show about the Bears. I'll bring some other Bear people on. We'll have a whole Bear Down segment.
Oh, yeah. That Bears. You really got a Bear Down there. So is that why you got all the football teams behind you? Are you into football? No.
Yeah, I am into football. And I am into, I know that we're good friends and stuff like that, but I am into convincing people that the 0-2 Buccaneers defense was the best defense of all time.
I have not heard that. And especially coming from, there was a certain team in Chicago, and is that 85?
85 or something like that? Yeah.
That might be a hard sell, but that's something that I think people would want to watch, I think.
Yeah. I think y'all going to have to wait and hear about the Bear Down show we'll have going down at NSD, where I will have that brought up, and we'll have a bunch of Bear content for you guys there.
Absolutely. And where can they follow the North Sports Dynasty there, Andrew?
Follow it on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. We're giving away the Mike Allstat mini helmet to all the people who subscribe, follow, like, and share all the shows and the content.
Better get on that
yourself
now.
In there. Hells yeah. Matt, great show today, buddy.
It was phenomenal, Andrew. I think we really laid down the law. I mean, honestly, if Coyotes don't follow our plan, call us. We'll buy you. We'll take it all the way.
I mean, I don't have that much money, but listen, if some bank would let me take out the loan, I'd do it in a second.
I think we got a good shot. But in all seriousness, that brings the One-Timer Hockey Show to an end. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We'll be back here again this following Tuesday with more great Blackhawks winning news, and I guess we'll see how the Red Wings do.
No more goals, please. Stop playing Nedeljkovic.
No more scoring. Everybody have a good night. Until next time.
Cheers.
1252 Sports Entertainment presents the one, the only, the One-Timer Hockey Show. Live with Andrew Faubert and Matt Bannon. So get your puck bunnies and give your balls a tug, because it's time to do that hockey. Let's do that hockey, baby.